Hello and welcome you all. Dear students, this topic is types of noise in the communication system. In this session, we will discuss the two major types of noise, that is external noise and internal noise. Then we will discuss the noise calculation and different methods which are used to minimize the effect of noise. So basically noise is an unwanted phenomena. It is disturbances that are going to get added with the signal. It may gets included or it may gets added with the signal while transmitting the signal, while receiving the signal, or even while processing the signal. So it is unwanted phenomena. Now the received signal is mathematically expressed as R of t. R of t represents received signal, which is equals to S of t. S of t is the actual desired signal plus N of t. This N of t represents the noise component. That means at the receiver side, we want only R of t is equals to S of t, but noise is getting added in the signal. Now, due to addition of this noise, it causes several effects as far as the signals are concerned. First, the signal distortion takes place. Next, the quality of the signal gets reduced, so reduction in the signal quality takes place. Then if we are talking about a digital communication in which we are transmitting logic 0 and 1, so bit error may takes place. Bit error means if you are transmitting 1 and due to noise the bit may get changed to 0, so it will be interpreted as 0 even if you have transmitted 1 from the transmitter side. Then it reduces the reliability. Now let us discuss different types of noise. As I mentioned, there are two broad categories of a noise. So first is part A is external noise. As the name indicates, these types of noise are getting added into the signal externally from outside of the communication system. So this type of external noise enters into the system or gets added with the signal through antenna or transmission medium. Now there are different subcategories of this external noise. First is atmospheric noise. So as the name indicates, this is basically due to the natural electrical disturbances. So quite common examples are thunderstorms, then lightning discharge, then rain and wind activity, and ionospheric disturbances. So these are the common reasons for producing this atmospheric noise. The major characteristics of atmospheric noise is they are dominant at lower frequencies and it actually affects the AM radio transmission and long distance communication. Second subtype of external noise is a space noise. This type of noise is generated from the sources which are outside the earth. For example, solar noise. As the name indicates, it is the noise that is generated due to the radiation from the sun. Then galactic noise, it is due to the radiation from stars and galaxies. Then cosmic microwave, there is a low level radiation which is present throughout the space. It produces the noise. Actually, this space noise are mainly affecting on the satellite communication. Then third type is a man-made noise. It is also called industrial noise. The basic reason of this man-made noise is it can be due to the switching action of the devices, or it can be due to the action of relays, or it may be due to the automatic ignition of the vehicles. All such things produces unwanted disturbances in the signal, which is a man-made or industrial noise. So common reasons are electric motors and generators, then power transmission line, TL is transmission line, then welding machines, then switching circuits, relays, and so on. These man-made noise or industrial noise are basically impulsive and they are much irregular. Now second major type, that is internal noise. So uh, external noise are generated outside the communication system. On the contrary, internal noise are generated inside the communication system. So these noise are generated due to the electronic components which are used in that particular communication system. There are four subcategories of internal noise. First is the thermal noise. As the name indicates, there are random thermal motions of the electrons because of which the thermal noise is generated. This type of noise is independent of the signal strength. It depends on the temperature and it is called a white noise. That means the spectrum remains uniform. So it is the white noise. Mathematically, it is expressed as Pn, that is thermal noise, is KTB, where K is the Boltzmann's constant, T is the absolute temperature, B is the bandwidth. Now, to reduce this type of thermal noise, it can be very simple from this equation itself. If you reduce B, that is bandwidth, this type of noise can be reduced. So you can well reduce the temperature, then also this noise will be reduced. So reduce temperature, use some cooling methods so that the temperature will be automatically lowered down. Then reduce the bandwidth as we discussed, and use low resistive components. So because of the use of low resistive components, again it will reduce this type of noise. Next is the short noise. It is due to the discrete nature of electric charge when carriers cross the potential barrier. That means whenever the carriers are crossing the potential barrier mark, that time certain kind of discrete action is taking place which produces the noise, which is a short noise. It is common in semiconductor devices like vacuum tubes, like PN junction diode, and so on. Mathematically, it is given by In is square root of 2QIB. Q is the electron charge, I is the DC current, and B is again the bandwidth. So this type of short noise is independent of temperature, and it depends on the DC current, as it is revealed as it is clear from this equation. This equation contains I, so it is directly proportional to the DC current. Next type of noise is flicker noise. It is also called 1 by F noise. F is the operating frequency. This is because if the frequency is increased, then this type of noise is reduced. So it is 1 by F noise. This is occurring or this type of noise is getting added with the signal mainly because of imperfections in the semiconductor material, or there may be certain surface defects in case of that material, because of which this type of noise is produced. This noise is dominant at the lower frequencies. Next is the transit time noise. Transit time is related to the time required for the charge carriers to pass through the device. So it is the time taken by the charge carriers to travel through the device, because of which certain noise is created, which is a transit time noise. It is common in high frequency. HF means high frequency transistors, then microdiodes and RF amplifiers. Now let us discuss some parameters related to this noise. First is SNR, that is signal to noise ratio. Very simple, as the name indicates, it is the ratio of signal to the noise. So it is PS upon PR. PS is signal power, PN is noise power. So ratio of signal to the noise power is SNR, signal to noise ratio. Usually it is expressed in dB, that is decibels. It is expressed like this. SNR in dB, decibels, is 10 log PS upon PM. Then noise figure. This parameter is again related to SNR, signal to noise ratio. So noise figure NF measures how much system degrades SNR. Degrades means how much it causes effect. So effect of SNR can be measured in terms of noise figure. So it is mathematically expressed as NF is SNR input. IN means input. It is the ratio of SNR at the input to the SNR at the output. Then these are the two important mathematical parameters related to noise. Then what are the common techniques which are used to reduce the noise entering into the system? So first, make use of the filtering. Filter is a device which removes unwanted frequencies and passes only required frequencies. So depending on the application, by choosing a proper filter, you can remove the noise up to certain extent. Then make use of shielding. So shielding basically is used to avoid the interference caused by electromagnetic. So to reduce down the electromagnetic interference, shielding will be the helpful technique. Then proper grounding. By providing proper grounding, again noise can be properly reduced. Then use of proper modulation techniques. For example, if you use a proper like FM modulation or digital modulation techniques, then noise is minimum compared to the other techniques. Then make use of error control codings. There are various error detections and error corrections techniques in case of digital communication. So select a proper error correction and detection method so that you can minimize the error. That means noise can be minimized. And then make use of regenerative repeaters. In the last video, we have discussed what are the regenerative repeaters. They accept the weak signals, noisy signals, then amplifies it and removes the noise and then retransmit it. So making use of regenerative repeaters again helps to minimize the noise. So dear students, this is about the causes of noise, effects of noise and different types of noise. So dear students, that's it for today's session. Thank you. Thanks a lot for watching this video.